In March, when this whole thing happened, no one, including me, ever expected quarantine to be so long. When I first was sent home from school for like 2 weeks, I thought, oh, this won't take too long. All we have to do is maintain social distance and wear masks. That won't be that hard. At the beginning, Ohio was doing fine, but other states weren't. So then we got sent to online school. I was not worried that we would do this for a long time. I thought, oh, this will be short. Boy, was I wrong. Online school was tough for me the first time. It was hard for me not to get distracted by all the things around me, such as the internet. Also, online school is not fun for me because I have to sit in front of a screen and computer all day. Also, I miss all my friends. This year, I do have some fun classes, though. Band and drama, especially being one, because they're like breaks from the average work. Also, my attitude, I'm more tired, and I get headaches and stomach aches after school sometimes. Also, I have a pretty good attitude towards the whole COVID thing, but it's slowly getting to me. And I know I have the best of COVID because I know some states aren't doing as well. Now Ohio isn't doing the best, but I know that I'm doing okay. And so is everyone else. We can get through it, and all we have to do is wear masks and maintain social distance, and I will do my part and do that. My family is doing pretty well considering the circumstances. Both my parents have jobs that they can work online from home, and my sister and I can keep each other entertained. We have made a social bubble with some of my friends. We still wear masks and when we play and talk. Also, we've made better friends with our neighbors, Arlo and Ellen. But it gets boring when we play the same thing over and over again. So we were trying to come up with new games. Also, a good thing is we had in the fall was my sister and I both played club soccer. So we were staying relatively active. Unfortunately, it ended. And also, a kid in my club got COVID, so I had to get tested. Luckily, I was negative. It was not fun. In the future, I hope that we find a way to deal with the virus and may return to school, masked or unmasked, but probably masked, and that our world will recover and be back to normal. I don't know if the handshake will ever come back, though.
I can't do that because of COVID. This is a phrase I've heard a lot over the past few months. When people say that, what do they mean? Do they mean that COVID is physically stopping them from doing things? Or do they mean that social media, the news, and the president are telling us not to do things? COVID-19, the pandemic, the villain of our story. The reason that school is solely done on computers, the reason that we are in lockdown, the reason that most days we are cooped up in the house. In fact, COVID is like a water fountain that is stuck spewing sickness all over the place. During the COVID pandemic, a lot has changed, especially social norms. For example, now it is just normal to wear a mask everywhere. Before this, I thought that masks were just things that doctors wore when they were doing surgery, and I thought that it'd be fun to wear one. Fast forward to 2020, and now wearing a mask is weird, when before, people would probably stare at you if you wore a mask to the store. Another example is staying 6 feet apart. At a concert, you were all squished together, and today that would be shame. So, we know that 2018 is not like 2020, like, at all. Oh, and one more thing. So, when you were in kindergarten and your teacher had that little behavior chart with the different colors, and when you did something bad, you got moved to the red zone? Well, they're doing that with COVID. They gave it a little behavior chart, and when it's getting really bad, they put it in the red zone. Here's the deal. I don't know about you, but I never had a purple zone in my behavior chart. I guess Corona was being a little too naughty.
Hi, I'm Luke Laser, and today I was telling you guys about how COVID-19 has affected my life over the past 8 months. The first thing I want to say is that COVID has made everything difficult, very difficult, for pretty much everybody. Some things have been good and others bad. One bad thing is that it's been hard keeping up with things because I've gotten so used to a chilled out lifestyle. Another bad thing is that I haven't been able to see an assortment of specific people. Luckily though, I have made a little bubble of people who I get to see pretty often. A good thing aside from seeing people is that I get to stay at home and see my mom more. I am also I also am glad that I can turn my camera off in class if I'm not feeling the best, which of course is only an option with online school. COVID has affected my family because my mom and I go on vacation a lot. This may seem not as big of a deal, but it's sad because about being harder on going on vacations because they're such an amazing experience. My mom and I understand that we have to be safe, but it's still a bummer. The biggest part that COVID has affected is probably schooling. Personally, online school is very difficult for me just because of the challenge to stare at a screen all day. It isn't just that though, it is also the special experience I get at school. I know that school is for learning, but I miss being social at lunch and recess. Social life has gone in two ways. In one way, it has lowered because my friends and I because more people have become distant. On the other side, though, it is nice because my friends and I have formed a group chat where we text each other and hang out in our little bubble. This has made it way easier for me personally because if this didn't happen, my social life wouldn't be as high as before. In the future, I am really hoping that COVID magically goes away and life goes back to normal. It is really nice to think these things, but I know that even if COVID dies off, life will never go back to normal, or at least not for a very long time. This makes me sad because in the future I think that we'll have to look back on these hard times and how long they've lasted. In conclusion, COVID has affected my life in negative and positive ways. Hope you have a good day. Goodbye.
Hey, my name is Brody. I'm in the seventh grade, and I have an epic monologue. So honestly, when I thought Corona would be done, during I already knew we would have online learning. I didn't know how, Zoom or maybe a different program, but I really thought also Corona would be done by Christmas, and it doesn't seem to be going to end by then. And Corona didn't really affect my family in a bad way. It actually got me into volleyball. My mom did dog training, and my brother's actually getting an album out soon. And the only thing it really affected is school for me. Like, school, just the boring nature of Zooms. Because, I'm not really learning that much. I mean, I'm learning some, but, I mostly have the same classes, so not learning the most. Um, and my hopes for the future are to become the best volleyball player and to get gold medals in the Olympics. That's really all I have to hope for.
No, this is not where I thought it was going to be by November. And COVID has affected my family by not being able to go places and not being able to do stuff. And my hopes for the future is for COVID to go away.
Oh, does time fly when you're in quarantine? At first, I would have never thought that we would be over 58.7 million cases of coronavirus and a devastating 1.39 million deaths from this. I thought that by this time that this would have been under control, but some things weren't done in enough time by the right people. COVID took my grandmother in August just after her birthday. The last time I saw her was just before she moved to Arizona because of the mistreatment of my aunt. I will always love her and she will remain I'm remembering to keep her inside my thoughts. I have lost many of my so-called friends and my mental health has gone lower than what it already was. I was always quiet before, but I'm extremely quiet now and, and how I look at my body has changed. My hopes for the future are that this will at least get under control, so not as many lives as this will be lost. But if I'm being honest with myself, I want this all to go away.
I am Manny, but you can call me Manny. I'm gonna tell you the best. You know how this NFL rep us? We can't see each other, we can't talk to each other, we gotta say 6 parts. Everything, everything mostly got worse. People are dying from it. We don't. People are trying to find a clear for it. Some people are trying to. People, uh, we can't receive. We can't receive each other anymore. We can't react with each other, and everything's not. Everything's kind of getting worse. And now it's not really. We're trying to find a clear for it. We're trying to.
Hello. Today I'm going to be telling you about my experience with COVID from when it started to now. So it started off when COVID-19 first started. I didn't even know about it. And when I first figured it out, I was happy for the simple fact that I thought there was going to be no school, and I thought it was some huge break from school to see all my friends and get to play video games. But I shortly noticed after that I missed school and I missed my friends. Then everything after that started to become less interesting to me, such as like going outside, playing video games, and then I started skating. So when I started skating around with friends, and I had like knew how to skate about my whole life, kind of. And then about 2 months ago, I started to learn to do tricks, and I started to be going outside a lot more. And after school, every day, I'd start going to the skate park and having fun. And I would be able to teach my friends how to skate, so I'd have people to skate with. And then we would all go skating and go on adventures and make memories together. And I would get to kind of still be in quarantine and going like through the whole COVID thing, but still get to be with friends and kind of go through life normally, but at the same time wearing a mask. And it's been pretty fun, and I've got to see my friends a lot more than usual, and it's kind of starting to feel like it's going back to normal. And yeah, so that's how my life's been going through COVID-19.
This is about my COVID experience. Let's start off. Trump should have done something about this way earlier because it is worse now. People are dying every day because there's no drug to fix it. This affected my life because I played basketball and I couldn't have the rest of my season because of Corona. It took me away from my family, and the holidays are coming up, so I can't see them. I really miss my family. I just wish for a better day because Corona might shut us down again. My little sister was scared at first, and now she's confused because she doesn't know how to react or ask questions about whatever she is thinking. She is bored. I hope we can get this under control by April or sooner. 2020 is the worst year of my life. One day I can tell my kids about this pandemic. Corona made me lazy, and I'm not a lazy person. I am very active. It made me not want to work out. But now I can work out, but I train with a mask on, and they clean the whole gym 3 times a day. But I wish I did not have to work out with the mask on. But now I just want to work on my gym and stay focused. Corona is making my mom very nervous because it's not getting better and she's worried about her family. COVID and Black Lives Matter at all one time was a lot because I wanted to go protest, but my mom wouldn't let me because of the virus. This was a crazy year. A lot happened. If COVID was not in the US, we could have way more and do way more. People are telling me we might wear masks till 2022. That would be crazy. All I need is them to find a drug and all the people that don't wear masks over their nose and mouth to put it up.
I didn't expect COVID to get this bad at all. In March, I thought it was just a little cold. Turns out it's pretty dangerous. It hasn't affected my family much. I think the biggest part was their jobs, though. School has sucked so far. I hate being on screens, so when I found out that I got to be on a computer for half the year and potentially the whole year, I was pretty mad. My social life, though, has surprisingly stayed the same. I still hang out with the same friends I've hung out with for the past 3 years. It's funny, I really used to think girls was weird for putting makeup on when they're not going anywhere, but now I do the same thing with my clothes. Ain't that ironic? My attitude, it's had its ups and downs. I've worked out and set healthy goals during quarantine just because I had nothing else to do, so I got a pretty healthy state of mind, except for the fact that I feel like I've gotten stressed and mad easily. Hopefully it ends soon.
This is how I feel about COVID. I feel like COVID has messed up a lot of things in people's lives and family activities. You can't see some of your friends and can't come in close contact with people so you don't get sick. And can't forget about online school. I don't like I do not like online school because can't I can't see my friends and I felt like being in person is much easier. And we can't even see the new school. I really don't understand how this new virus appeared. Like when the virus wasn't here, we was hugging and playing basketball, but now we can't even be by our own family members because what's going on. It's just we have to adapt to this new world we live in. Like it just doesn't make sense to me how one little thing you do or one mistake can change everything. Like it changed a lot on how we move around the world. We have to social distance and wear a mask. And I don't understand the people that don't want to wear a mask. Like you obviously want to get sick. And that's how I feel about COVID.
I'm sad. I thought we would get through this pandemic before we started school. I have to do online school. It's very annoying. I never got good grades in the first place, but now I'm getting even worse. I'm down to B's. I thought it would be easy. We have all this great tech and we're using it. We're using it so well. But if we just followed the rules, it'd be even better. This has affected my attitude because I started thinking online school was an option. I started thinking that I could get up like I log into my class and I get up, go have a snack and then come back. But I can't. That's like coming up in the middle of class or going to your locker and getting a snack. Adults think it's easy for us, or maybe they don't think it's easy, but they think it's not hard to do this. They think it's just like normal school, but it's not. I've heard all adults have said that we are going through a tough time and it's hard, but it's harder than you think. You're asking us to be college students. College students. And now that everything's from home, it's even worse.
This pandemic has affected how we go to the store. It's affected how I step out of the house. If I go on a walk, I might, wait, I forgot my mask. We didn't need masks. We should have masks, but we didn't need them. The scientists have a vaccine that works 95% of the time. I'm really hoping that this is the one that works. If it doesn't, we're going to be in big trouble. If it doesn't work, life is just going to go on as it is now. But it's going to be even harder because we knew we were so close as 95%, but then it failed. If it fails. If we could just change how people act, if we could stop all the Karens from not wearing masks, no offense to any Karens, if we could stop the people that were ignorant to other families that have